Hi, my name is Jennifer Tombaugh, and I'm the president of Tauck. Tauck is the first licensed tour operator in the United States. We serve a premium, educated, culturally curious traveler in operations on land, river, and small ship in 70 countries and in all 7 continents. Well, I am half German, so I've had many overseas cultural travel experiences from a very young age. And so I grew to appreciate different places and experiences early on. They were familiar to me. But what really changed me was when I went to unfamiliar places. In 1991, I took my first trip to Japan to visit a high school friend who was teaching English to kindergartners. And that opened to me a whole world of different ideas and beliefs and language and culture that maybe put me back a little bit and had me pause and think about the world out there. And later, when I visited India or when I lived in Taiwan for 3.5 years, again, the sensibilities that I knew as being familiar were challenged. And that created a lot of learning and opportunity for me. And what I learned through all of that, though, is how stimulating and important travel is. Because at the end of the day, while we'll all have different experiences in our lives, we share a common humanity and a common belief of wanting to take care of the people we love and be safe and secure and grow as individuals. And that impact has stayed with me. Cultural heritage tourism absolutely gives us opportunity to improve the socioeconomic conditions and livelihoods of places and people that we visit. 1 in 10 jobs globally are powered by tourism. It powers us as people, it powers us as an economy. And while tourism often can be seen in places of over-tourism as a problem, it's actually an enormous opportunity to go off the beaten paths for expanding economic opportunities in smaller destinations. And we see this time and time again, whether it's through organizations such as Tourism Cares, who is creating a mindful map of off the path destinations that satisfy a certain level of socioeconomic responsibility and opportunity for cultural learning. Or it could be places like the Lobkowicz Castle and the Nelehovice's Palace in the Czech Republic, who's discovering the wonders of Dvorak and bringing guests outside of Prague to learn more about their own cultural heritage, but the world's heritage. Since COVID, we have seen a migration towards even smaller group experiences. As a group travel operator, we saw this prior to the pandemic, but even now, for reasons of safety and security, but also as a desire to go off the beaten path more, we've seen an increase in small group experiences. Local destinations have a huge opportunity to embrace these smaller groups, feature places that maybe haven't been open to destinations and smaller group travelers before, and showcase those in a way through social media that people are there, they're having a great time, and they're engaging with one another. During this time of COVID, we have been physically distant, but we crave humanity and we crave being with each other. And it's an opportunity for local destinations to feature that and also do it in a sustainable way. We have an opportunity to reset on issues around sustainability, of removing plastics, of making that destination welcoming in a responsible way so that our impact is powerful and positive. Prior to the pandemic, the word you heard most often about the travel industry was over-tourism. But I think we've all realized in these last long 18 months where cities, destinations, the world has been impacted so severely by the lack of tourism, we need each other. We are not the enemy, but there are ways to move forward with tourism that can be much more sustainable. And local destinations, again, by featuring more off the beaten path opportunities and attractions, by limiting, in some cases, the number of people who are entering certain locations, by encouraging more smaller group travel. All of these things will help ensure that we can connect and have a dialogue in a more meaningful way. But we all have to sit at the table and have a conversation. There are many ways to make this a win-win-win for everyone, to open the world again, to do it in a responsible way, and feature those destinations so that we treasure them for a lifetime. We've seen that in the United States national parks. We've seen this across the world, and there's cities and destinations that do it right. And I know we can solve this together. Even prior to COVID-19, we saw among our Tauck travelers a huge desire to understand the cultural richness and the fabric of the heritage and the people of any destination that we visit. They just don't want to sightsee, they want to sight do. They want to dig deep into a destination. That's even more so now. We need that time to break bread together, to meet the locals. We want to know how each other lived and how we coped through this difficult time. At the end of the day, all of us globally, we're explorers. We have a natural desire to travel, and we're finding new ways to explore. And it's beholden on us, the tour operators, the travel companies, to ensure that we can help our guests find those special local moments. I'll give you an example just coming back from Portugal, where I was last week, where when our beautiful new ship arrived in this very small town of Pinhal, we encouraged our guests to go to the local taverns, try the local food, try out some Portuguese language. And in the context, we all shared laughter. We all shared stories. We all shared an understanding that was much richer and deeper than any sort of tour could have been. And so we need that level of engagement, and we all need to break bread together.